check. What is going on? What is going on, everybody in the house? What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland every single morning.
I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up.
What is going on? What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland on a beautiful, beautiful yet hot, super hot Thursday morning. Hope you guys are having a good morning. It's morning for me still. It's 10 a.m. But for some of you, it might be a little later. Need to get a little more light here. There we go. It's a little better. So, hope everybody's having a fantastic morning. Today's a cool day. You know, it's Tech Thursday as always. We always do Tech Thursday. I wanted to do Wednesday yesterday, but, you know, life just keeps getting in the way. Work, business, YouTube. I had to do a video that had to go up this morning, so I had to post that video. I had to record that video yesterday. I had to run my kid around because he had to get his haircut. It didn't end up getting his haircut, so now we got to do it again today. It's a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot of stuff. It is a lot of stuff, but that's the joy of being a dad, right? You know, you gotta do these things sometimes that you don't want to do, and hopefully everything works out in the long run. But so we're here today. Today is Tech Thursday, which means that if you have any questions, you just throw the hashtag ask right in there, and hopefully, you know, we will try to do our best to answer your questions. Today we have a very special guest. If you guys haven't watched my video yet, which you shouldn't have, or maybe you should, it's a quick video. We are going to be talking about Beatsource Link's brand new update to their system, which is just massive, just a massive update. So I am very, very excited about that. We're going to bring on Styles Davis from the Beatsource crew, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. So it should be a good time. Give a shout out to my mods, DJ T Diesel in the building. Thanks for hanging out today. I see DJ Queso, DJ Superior, Skills Town, Ernie Webb. Who else we got in the building right now? Trent Warren, DJ Phil DeRill, good to see ya. Bankai in the building, Red Dog, Woodchip, Rat Bone, also one of the mods. Thanks for hanging out today. Cell DZ, Rob Alon in the building. Good to see you, man. DJ Scene in the building. Yo, if you guys aren't following DJ Scene, talk about putting on a good show. That's your guy right there. DJ Scene is absolutely amazing. You know, one day I'm going to go watch him perform live because, you know, I like seeing good DJs perform. What can I say? Yeah, so we got a lot of people in the building. Hey, good stuff. Queso says, thank you. Dude, I ordered my Rain 1. Hey, good job, man. It's a great controller. I have no issues with it. As I said before, I still use it. And it's my go-to. Why does it keep changing my font? That is the ugliest font I've ever seen. Let's do a little tweak here, because that's going to drive me crazy. Where is my font text? There we go. Not there. Okay. Yeah, it keeps going to this ugly ass font. We don't like that font. This one's okay. We'll keep this one for now. Am I missing like a save? No, I'm not. Okay, well this font will do today. But I'll have to send that to Melon. Styles DZ in the house. That's my man Styles Davis. He will be on the show at about 11 o'clock. So we'll talk all things Beatsource. We'll go into, try to get into the nitty gritty of it. But huge. Now, we're going to talk about this. We're going to bring up all these things about Beatsource. But don't let that stop you from watching the actual video on YouTube. It's only like 6 minutes long. It's one of my shorter videos. So I need you to go there, support the channel. That's how we do things, guys. We get a nice push. But a very, very exciting times. As far as streaming services go, as far as just technology in general goes, this is probably one of my favorite updates that a DJ company has come out with in a long time. Like one of my favorites. It kind of nailed all the critics out there. Kind of shut them up real fast. So we're really excited about that. DJ Vsource in the building. Dread New York in the building. Thanks for hanging out. Let me send Styles the invite just so he's ready for that. Would hate to not have all that ready for him. So please hold, peeps. Please hold. Okay, much better. Let's see what we got here. So I know their question did pop up. So DJ Slide in the building, thanks for hanging out today. Where is that question at? Okay. Okay. Skillstown says, I have upgraded from an FLX, a Flex 6 to a DDJ 800. Now I want a 1000. I need to chill. Not really a question. It's more of a statement. And I get it. Look, I tell people the Flex is a starter controller. Does it give you a lot of the things that you look forward to with, Pioneer and things like that? Of course, it's still a Pioneer product. Pioneer DJ. They don't like when I just say Pioneer. But it's not a DDJ 800. It's not a 1000. It's in a completely different league. So that's how they get you. Like a drug dealer. They get you on the comeback. All right. Let's see what we got here. Okay, DJ Queso says, what bag am I using for the Rain 1? The Rain 1. Okay, so I am using still the older Pioneer DDJ bag. So let's see if I can pull it up real quick. Amazon. I think it's on Amazon. Okay. DDJ case. Okay, so, huh. All right, this is the bag that I am using. Let's see here. They keep moving stuff around. Probably should have had this ready in the first place. I apologize for being horrible. All right, and I see Styles Davis in the green room, so we'll be bringing him on shortly. Okay, so this is the bag that I have been using. This is the Odyssey DJ 1000 SRT case. For the most part, it does a great job. There is a slight little hump on the top part. So I make sure that I don't put anything on top of it because it's still a soft case, not a hard case. So this bag has been great. It fits without any type of modification. The Rain 1. The cases, the hard cases, like your Odysseys, like your Pro X, they're good cases. I actually took out my DDJ 1000 and put the Rain 1 in there. It scares me. So I didn't opt to try to change that one. So this bag works. It works well. I have no issues with this bag. And it's funny because it actually has forced me, not so much forced me. I've always been a keep everything in a case, all the cables, everything in. So anytime I need to just set it up, I literally just plug in and I'm done. Like power, XLRs, everything else is already in there. Battery charger for the computer, anything and everything. Except when I moved over to the soft case, everything kind of changed for me. It's just so convenient. It takes up little space. It's not heavy because I haven't shoved every little cord that I possibly could have into the case. I'm kind of a soft bag guy now. That's kind of my thing. I don't know if I'm ever going to go back to the hard case. I don't know. I just kind of like it. All right. Let's see who else we got here. Let's see. DJ Slide says, what do you think about the Reloop 8000 MK2s? I have only used the Reloops partially. And that's only been at trade shows, NAMM, things like that. They felt good from the initial use. The platters are and again, initial use, not me using it, over and over again. The platters are a little high for my vibe. I wish they were a little lower, but neither here nor there. I know they're great. Decks, and with the cue points and everything else, it's a huge sell. I know a lot of people love those things. So my Reloop contact is a little shady. Not like a person, that's a shady dude, but just as far as the communication between Reloop and I, there's it's really hard to get contact with them. The mixer that I got, I had to go through a third party to get that mixer from Reloop. I sent an email, I got nothing. The other person sent an email, they're like, sure, yeah, we'll send it to them. So after that, I'm assuming, okay, cool. I'm in the door now. I ask for another thing. No response. So, it is what it is. Hey, it is what it is. That's all I got to say. Okay. Let's see here. Woodchip says, DJ Skills Town. Hey, thank you for the support. I appreciate the gift. Thank you. This helps us, in all honesty. Getting any type of subs or bits or any monetary, it all helps. Thank you. I appreciate that. Woodchip says, I do small gigs, sub 100 people with the RCF Evolve 30s. Be adequate in your opinion. For under 100? Yeah. I wouldn't go above that. I get fearful going above 100 to 130 with the larger, the bows, 32s, which I am going to use again this Saturday. I got the second sub, so I'm gonna run that. I tried to run it at a different situation. It wasn't giving me what I wanted. Plus, I need to see if I need to update the subs. So, yes, 100, you're good. Kerrigan says, are you for or against coffin cases specifically for a pair of techniques? Okay. Flat out, if we're talking about a true coffin with a mixer and turntables, I can't stand that. I'm done with that. I'm done with killing my back to try to lift a coffin onto a table. I go flight cases or nothing, which is why I tend to do controllers on my events. Unless I have a rider or unless I have a roadie that can set everything up for me, I want absolutely nothing to do with the coffin. Now, if you give me the option, turntables all day. Turntables all day. But if I got to choose for myself, I'm bringing a controller. Underneath this table, turntables. When I do any of my streams, turntables, unless I'm working. But which is why I do like the Rain 1 as much as I do, because it's the closest thing to turntables right now. Okay. Let's see what else here. Trent Warren says, any ETA on that DJ Pro Rain 1 video? Yeah, okay, what is today? Today's Thursday. I got to get out. Well, to be honest with you, I was kind of waiting on Beatsource's update because I want to incorporate that into the DJ for the iPad. Next week. It'll be next week. I got to do a video on some stuff that I actually have 3 videos I need to get out. We'll see how quickly I do. I need to get one out on Melon. I need to get one out on this company called RipX, which is a voice isolation or a music isolation stem converter, which is really, really impressive. So I got to do a video on that one, and I got to do a video on the Comica microphones that I use for all my videos. So that's 3 right there. Hopefully, if I can get those done, I think I can shoot all of those in one day, in a couple hours, and then it'll just be about editing. Mixmaster GNL in the building. What is going on, fam? Good to see you. DJ Yaga says it's better here on Twitch. I don't know that I disagree with you. Twitch is community, in all honesty. Okay, let's see what we got here. A couple more questions. Styles, give me the thumbs up if you're actually ready. Okay, cool. All right. DJ Loco Lopez says, do you use a regular folding table or a case-style table like the Z-Stand? No, I don't use a case-style because I have a facade. Just work out. You know what? Even in like my biggest workout time, I still hated the coffin. There's no easy way. Coffins are long, so there's no easy way to actually grab it and lift it. It's not necessarily the weight. The weight is not that bad. I mean, subs are just the same if you're pulling an Eon 18 around with you. The issue is they're awkward, so you can't grab. The handles are on the sides. You gotta grab. You gotta do this weird lift thing in the back, and now your back's all sore. Getting it down is fine. It's the getting it up that's the problem. Pause. That did not sound right coming out of my mouth. Okay. I use what? I don't even know what the table is called right now. I think it's the Z. I don't remember what it's called, but it's my favorite table. It's down in the garage, so I don't have access to it. Swift. I think it's the Swift stand. Let's see if it comes up on Amazon. Swift DJ. I think it's Swift. Of course, it's not. Yeah, so I don't see it on there. I can't remember. I got it a while ago. but I can't remember what it's called right now. So mine is it's an X stand, but it's a flat table, and it's a flat board. You click it almost like an ironing board. The whole thing pops down with the table. It has its own connection with its own computer stand that attaches right onto it. So it's super clean. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, a couple more, then we got to move over to styles. Let's see here. Chroma Kitty says, and that's a dope name, by the way, Chroma Kitty. Do you think Twitch music, with its already declining numbers, can become more popular than music streaming services such as SiriusXM, Dash Radio, or even 24/7 YouTube music channels? No, I don't. I think it doesn't need to be, though. All it needs to be is a alternative to somewhere you already are. That's all it needs to be. And I don't know that you can say that the numbers are declining per se. I think less people are DJing right now because, just like me, gigs have come through. They're working a little more, so they haven't been able to. So the numbers from maybe the people you follow appear to be dropping. But every time I look at a lot of people on there, every time I go on to Twitch, the people that are still on, their numbers are good. So yeah, but come on. I mean, SiriusXM, YouTube has a hold on a lot of stuff. And the difference between YouTube and, look, the difference between anything, which is why I still have like my Apple Music and, things Untitled and things like that, is because as good as streaming is and being able to hear a great DJ spin is like unheard of. The fact that I can turn on and listen to Scratch Bastard and Jazzy Jeff, on a weekday, like, it doesn't get much better than that. But sometimes I just want to play other music. So I'm always going to default to my, Apple Musics and titles, and people who use Spotify, things like that, but I think there's a place for Twitch, but look, Twitch is for gamers and other things. So we are a niche. We're a very small niche. It's never going to get up to those levels. But all I need to do is be there and be active. Let's see. Kerrigan says, also, are you familiar with the Beatsource DJ Web App? I'm not sure what it's geared towards. I thought maybe you could just utilize it to do B2Bs with someone else. No, the Beatsource DJ Web App is I did a video on it, and I actually broke it down, like, could you DJ with the web app? And short answer was no. Long answer was, in a pinch, if you absolutely had some emergency, you could probably make it work. But it's more designed for people that are just trying to get their sets together in an easier way, a more familiar way for people to do it. It looks like a like a DJ setup. So it's not designed to actually be used for DJing, but I have a video on it. So Kerrigan, you should probably check it out. It's somewhere in the it's probably in my DJ Gear review playlist. Okay. Stream for. All right. Let's do this because I don't want to keep the man waiting. Hold on, DJ Yaga. Can we hold Dipset's DJ partly accountable for them losing the versus battle? Look, here, honest facts. I rarely watch versus. Honestly, primarily because I don't like using Instagram Live. I hate the fact that when it's on, I can't do anything else. Like, if I could pop off, like I could do on YouTube with the premium YouTube, or Twitch, I would use it so much more. But I can't stand, if a phone call comes through and I got to answer it, I'm off of IG. It stops. Or if I got to switch over to an email, it's annoying. So I don't really listen to verses. I honestly, you can watch it on the Fight app. I don't even know what the Fight app is. But that's okay. It's not really the app that is. IG is my excuse. I just don't tend to really dig verses. That's it. I like what they're doing, but the show itself, you know, it's like watching Summer Jam. Just a whole bunch of dudes. Look, it is what it is. I think I liked it better when it was more about the spirit of it. It was more about the rawness of it than it is now, which is like a production. And the moment it became a production, like, it completely turned me off. But you got production, you got people talking about, but let me play you one of my new album, my songs for my new album. It's like, that's not what this is about. This is verses. This is your top 20. Your new album's got nothing to do with your top 20. Anyway. Okay. Let's bring on Styles before I start to rant all day long. Hold on. Let me get him ready. I don't have my commercial on this one. I never put it on, so I can't even drop to my commercial. That's how ghetto I am today. Apparently, I need to start streaming more because I can't even like navigate my own screens right now. All right, there we go. Let's see. Do I have that video? No, I don't. Okay. Well, sit tight for just a minute. We're going to pop over. I'm just going to get all of this ready, and we'll see you in half a second. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm ready. I think my ear works. We'll see what happens. You know, sometimes you turn it on and it's like, hello, hello. You got to do this whole hello game. Let's hope that doesn't happen this time, because that would suck for two technology guy, technology company, and we can't hold a live stream to save our lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said before, Beatsource has come out with a brand new update to their streaming service, Beatsource Link. They have added in two major updates. One being the Pro account, the offline locker gives you 1,000 songs as opposed to the 100 that was already there. So just a huge increase, but it gets better because they've actually added in all of their intros and outros are starting to populate. They have contracts with all three major record companies, publishing companies. It's a new world. So we're going to bring on Asher because today they literally just released it. Unless you were up at like 12 o'clock a.m. last night and you happen to go on the Beatsource link page and then it was right there, almost stealing all my fire. But that's okay. So ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for the man of the hour, Styles Davis.
Yo.
What's going on, man?
What up, buddy? Thanks for having me on.
Hey, it is my pleasure. So, let's move some of this stuff off here because I hate when that happens. This is a kind of a big deal. This has been a long time coming.
Yeah, man. We've been working on this for quite a while. We launched Beatsource about 2 years ago, and right when we did, we already had this roadmap laid out of all these things we wanted to accomplish from a technology standpoint and a feature standpoint. And today we kind of crossed that line into this new territory, and we're super excited. And I'm happy to be here. I think you're the first interview I'm doing, so you got the exclusive.
I got the exclusive. Yeah, I saw. I want to point out, Kova, that you're Friday. You're not first. I saw his post. I'm like, I'm not about letting people know. I'm just going to do my thing. People show up, they watch, they have a good time. No, I'm kidding. I love that dude. Now, at what point were you guys okay? So when you first came out, this is now what 15 months in the making, give or take, since Beatsource Link was actually added. You were kind of washing around the 50 offline to the 100 offline locker. At what point? I'm trying to understand. At what point did you guys just say, "Screw it, let's just give it all to them"? Because you could have gone with like, okay, there's a first tier of 500, the second tier of 1,000. Like, what made you guys just say, you know what, let's just give them what they want?
Well, right off the bat, we knew that our locker size at 50 and 100 wasn't going to be enough for DJs. But being a brand new company and being a DSP that actually pays out to artists and publishers for each spin, like similar to a DSP like a Spotify or Apple Music, we had to scale up before we could get to that level where we could increase the locker size. And it was purely a business and kind of financial decision. But from day one, our intention was always to be able to increase that locker size. And I know we've spoken about it, and literally all the feedback that we got from DJs was like, this is great, offline mode is amazing, but we need more tracks in our locker. And I totally get that. I play at clubs, and it's like, if I'm gonna do a whole night at a club, I need to play about 400 records. Right? Because I quick mix the hell out of shit. So, we always knew we had to increase that locker size. Now, to the question of, picking the number and scaling up, we just felt like 1,000 was a nice, even, round number that would literally have you covered for like any gig. Because I can't think of any DJ that plays more than 1,000 tracks at a gig.
I mean, you're right. I think you're good. Yeah. I think you not only do you have enough tracks, but you have enough tracks to offer variation in your mixes too. It's not like you're just because at least at a club, you got your 50 tracks or 400 tracks, whatever. It's like you got your list, you're flying down it. You know what I mean? But like at a party, you might have to deviate and change, and people are requesting music. So totally. I think that's more than enough. I even on my local drive, when I copied over like what I call my Check 1 2 party thing, which has all of my songs in there, it only ended up being like 19 gigs. And I have like 400 gigs of crap just sitting on my computer. So it goes to show you that, like, I know a lot of people, especially us DJs, we're kind of, hoarders. But you probably don't need 75% of the music you're playing anyway.
No. But this gives a nice option, yeah. So you could throw, the 500 tracks that you need 100%, and then you can have another 500 for just, hey, in case I need to play this or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, we really feel like that's going to be enough. And, truth be told, it might not end there. We still have plans to be able to increase that even further going down the line. So we're not done by any means. This is just kind of the latest feature update that we've been able to launch. And as you've reported over the last year or so, we've had a bunch, come up. And but the two main things that was always being asked of us as soon as we launched was, can we get a bigger locker size? And then where are the DJs? And so yes, we literally solved both those problems and both those questions today. So, we're super excited, and it's been a long time coming. It's been a lot of work, a ton of work, but yeah, man, we're very happy about this.
Well, as you should be. And not to mention, which it is in my video, but it's not just the fact that there are DJ edits. I mean, you got a WAP intro, great, but there's the older music is being populated in there now also. So there's a lot of music in there. If anybody uses DJ City as their exclusive, record pool, that over the last 10 years, there's been a lot of music that has gone in and gone out, but now it's all there. Well, I guess as much as, possible. I truly believe this is a game changer. I honestly believe that as far as if you are a DJ There's absolutely no reason that you shouldn't at least have the streaming service with you. But that offline locker, it just changes everything. $30 is nothing. I mean, some of these people were paying $50 for record pools, so.
Yeah, and with the addition of the edits, I mean, I would even argue that we provide a better value to DJs than a record pool does, because we've got more content than any record pool could ever provide. And we already had that with just the library that we had, which was like, classic music going back to the 50s, 60s, 70s for all genres. So we were already had a bigger library than any other record pool, but the problem was we didn't have the edits. And so now with this deal, we've been able to legally license all the edits. And that includes, as you mentioned, 20 years of edits that we've been building with DJ City. And just to give people a little bit of background information on why this is happening, we've been operating DJ City for 20 years and as a legit promotional record pool. And as a promotional record pool, we can carry tracks for a certain amount of time, but then after that time has passed, we need to get rid of them because it's a promotional service. So we can't have Michael Jackson on DJ City. We can't have even tracks from 2010 because it would violate the promotional agreement of and the service. So, for 20 years, we've been putting up music for a year and then taking it down. So just because we took it down, though, it's not like we deleted it. We kept everything in a Google Drive. You should see this drive. It's insane. But so we've kept 20 years of DJ City edits just kind of behind the scenes. And as of today, those are all now added into Beatsource. So, I still work for DJ City. DJ City is still a record pool, but I mean, Beatsource can even give you more access to DJ City content than DJ City can.
Yeah, that's kind of what I said in my video. I don't know if you watched it yet, but in my video, first thing I said, not first thing, one of the last things was, I can see people that have a DJ City account just moving over to Beatsource. Especially people that have multiple pools, and they're like, okay, I can't add another stream. I can't pay another $30. I need to let one go. It makes the most sense to let go of a DJ City to move over to Beatsource because you still have the offline locker. So you're paying the same amount, potentially, but you're getting so much more value. And I don't leave streaming services. It's like, Apple Music or Apple TV. Like, once you're in it, like, it's hard to just walk away. So I kind of assume that I just continue to pay for it. So I'm not really worried that, oh my God, I'm going to lose it. Hey, that actually brings up an interesting thing. So what happens if somebody forgets to pay or screws up one day? Is there... I mean, what is the policy? It's just pay in and then you're back in, or do your downloaded folder files, disappear? What is the?
Yeah, if your subscription lapses for whatever reason, whether you cancel it or you just forget to pay it or whatever, you simply just don't have access to the catalog anymore. But if you come back, you would have access to everything you had before, including all the playlists that you built. Everything that you've built, associated to your profile will still be there. So it's not like you would lose all the work that you've done if you've built many playlists or anything like that. Yeah, it's really similar to any other DSP that if you stop subscribing, you can't access their content anymore.
Right.
And if you come back, you're good to go. So yeah, I mean, for people that have been using it and are scared, like if I pause for a couple months, will I lose all the work that I've done? No, you're good to go. You can come back 3 months later, use the same login, resubscribe, and you would have access to all the content that you had already built.
Perfect. By the way, shout out to Diamond Lee, DJ Struts, that's Jetpack Bag. Shout out to my man. Thanks for hanging out today. Let's see here. Shout out to Mixmaster GNL. I will say this. So I did look, I looked at Rekordbox and Serato. Just FYI, Rekordbox seemed to have some problems populating the intro outro wording. It was there, but it didn't say it. It was like 4 copies of WAP, but you know what I mean? So that was a little weird. Serato definitely didn't have that. What was I just about to say here? So for all the people out there, especially using Serato, all the services, this isn't for you, this is more for them, and you can just kind of chime in. All the services behave differently. So Serato behaves differently than Rekordbox, behaves differently than Algorithm DJ, Virtual DJ. The one thing that is going to annoy, which still annoys me, is the fact that with Serato you don't have the ability to place them in your normal playlist, because that would change everything. I know it's coming. But there's still that separation.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct in that. There's actually a little hack for that actually Marvel is about to put out a video kind of showcasing what you can do, but I'll just go over it real quickly. In Serato, when you play records, they all obviously go into your history.
Right.
So if you're playing Beatsource link tracks and also MP3s, they'll still show up in your history. So what I've been doing is I go back into my history folder, I find maybe the 15 tracks that I've played that are a mix between link tracks and regular MP3s, and then I can just use that history crate as like a crate.
I see.
It's not ideal, but it's a hack. It works. And so every time you log in, if you just go back to that history folder, you would have everything. You can delete the tracks that you don't want out of it. So it's like a de facto, like,
Gotcha.
Crate. But it's not ideal. And, Serato knows about this. To your point, yes, like the integration works differently in all the DVS depending on what it is. The analogy I give is like, if you've got Netflix and you watch on a Roku, the UI is one way. If you watch on Apple TV, the UI is a little bit different. Essentially, the functionality is all the same, but the UI might be different. And that's the case with these DVS programs as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And they'll, this is still a relatively new technology, so they're going to be improving this dramatically over the next weeks, months, years, right? So the Rekordbox issue you pointed out, that's something we'll bring up to them. They'll figure out what the deal is and they'll fix that. The Serato mixing streaming files with local files in your crates is something they know about. And so, I'm sure they'll address it in a timely manner.
Of course. And I think that's one of the things that I need people to understand. I think I've communicated it properly, but I think sometimes people, choose to hear what they want to hear. You guys are actually listening to your subscribers. You're actually trying to build a product that is designed for your customer base, not just a, one size fits all type thing. So every time I've come out with a video, or we brought something up before the video comes out, it's fixed. Things are tweaked. Everything keeps changing. So I have a lot more confidence in a company like a Beatsource Link versus a Tidal. Even though Tidal does a good job, who knows? One day they might just say, you know what, we're not doing this anymore, or we're not. And then you're just like Spotify did to people. They just said we're not streaming anymore, and then you guys were screwed. So
yeah. No, 100%. I mean, we're a service built for DJs, and this is like such a cliche, corny thing to say, but it's like built for DJs by DJs. We hate to say that, but it's true. It's true. Like we're all DJs. We all understand the the updates that need to happen or the features that need to be there for us for it to work for us. But yeah, man, to your point, I mean, we take that very seriously. If DJs have feedback on the service and product, we want to know about it, and you can hit us directly, and we are actively working on fixing that. Like, yes, like you said, if you got an issue with Tidal, it's not like you could call Jay-Z or Jack and get them to change something. So, and those services have integrated with DJ software as like a nice to have, like an afterthought type thing, whereas we're built 1,000% for DJs. So if there's issues or problems or something like that in the workflow or in the functionality or the utility of it, then we want to know so that we can move towards
right. So Trent Warren has a good question to ask. He says, I can't give up my pool. Stream integration comes and goes. Can't risk losing my library due to a partnership change. And he's not wrong about that. But is there anything you can kind of say to calm someone's nerves?
No, I mean, that's a great point. I think what sometimes gets lost in when I'm doing these marketing promo or whatever is like people think like we're gonna make them like get rid of their music and you like cancel your record pools and you can only use Beatsource, which is like the furthest from the truth. Like, if anything, this is a supplement for you. So you shouldn't give up your pool. If your pool gives you what you need and gives you access to content that you want, by all means, you should be using it. What I think is that Beatsource can provide an amazing supplement to you as a DJ and can give you access to all this music that, frankly, there's no way you could get on a record pool. There's no record pools that can offer catalog music legally. There's no record pools that can give you certain records, right? Because they've been licensed only to certain DSPs or something like that. So, or they haven't signed licensing agreements with that label. So, no, that's a super valid statement. And if this is I know we're worldwide, but this is America. You do what you want. Like, you got the freedom.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, no, because you're right. Because I'm just looking through and I'm seeing people, Post Locker. Post Locker always comes up as the little engine that couldn't, and rightfully so. But I think right off the bat, first off, Post Locker was ahead of its time, and if the same Post Locker would have come out like right now as Post Locker, it would have done just fine. But at that point, people just weren't ready to let go of they weren't, the technology wasn't there. This Wi-Fi wasn't there. The Wi-Fi wasn't ubiquitous. Like, you couldn't just pop up your phone and get, 100 megabytes down. Like, that just didn't exist. So it wasn't Post Locker's fault. It was just bad timing, as anything.
Yeah, they were definitely ahead of the curve with the technology. And actually, their technology is our technology, right?
Right.
They went out of business. We ended up purchasing the patent for that. So their lead engineers are our engineers. So, we've got a lot of history with them. But yeah, we kind of saw what they did, and, there was a few mistakes along the way, and we feel like we are, avoiding those by focusing in on what we knew were going to be important to the DJs, which was the music content, right? That was the big issue with Post Locker. The technology was great, but they just didn't have the library that DJs really need, right? Mm-hmm. And so we obviously were like, well, we need to first hone in on the music. And that was our first approach with going to the record labels and telling them, hey, you guys need to be a part of this because we need to service the DJs with your music.
Yeah. And it was expensive.
Yeah.
Can't forget about cost is an issue. People are always like, oh, Post Locker went down. Post Locker went down because people were like, I can't pay for that to get, 50 songs offline. It's too much money. I can't count on it. So, by you guys coming in, by you offering both options. You got the $9.99 one, which I think is a perfect entry for anybody trying to do it. It's a good supplement right off the bat, having that alone. But the offline locker is for professionals,
Yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, like the newer DJs, beginner DJs probably won't have that need for the offline stuff until they start getting out and gigging. Mm-hmm. But obviously, like as professional DJs, we know you need to be stable and secure when you're out there performing with your stuff. So yeah, I mean, the locker is huge, and again, we're the only service that will allow you to do that. So if anybody else is using another streaming service, you'll notice you can't store your music offline, and if your Wi-Fi is disconnected, then you're shit out of luck. So
right, yeah, no, I agree. I think you're in a good place.
Yeah. I see some questions here. Should I answer these?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
So Mike Feliciano, how is your 80s, 90s old school rap, hip hop, R&B compared to your peers? So that again is what's so amazing about this opportunity that we have, is that we've got all the labels on board. So we've got these huge catalogs. 80s music is ridiculously fat. I mean, we've got a ton of stuff.
Let's see if we can do. You keep talking. I'm gonna try to.
Yeah, 90s, all the back catalog content, we've got a ton of it. So I would definitely recommend to check it out. We've got free 30-day trials for each plan, so you can jump in there, try it for 30 days, no questions asked. And, the second part of the edits, partnership that we've been able to form with the labels is that we're not only allowed to do edits for all the latest music, right? So all the new, tracks that come out, we can have DJ edits for. But what it allows us to do is make edits for all the back catalog content too. So we can do edits for Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston, all that classic music that you typically couldn't find on a record pool because they're not legally allowed to have them. We will have edits for all that content, and we're in the process of building those out and adding them right now. For instance, if you go onto the site and you look in some of the wedding playlists that were curated by Nick Spinelli, you'll see a lot of classic music from the 70s, 80s, 90s. All that content will have DJ edits for it. Intro versions, clean versions, all that. What's even better, and the biggest like point, I guess, of what we're doing with Beatsource is that since we're a DSP, if you play the intro version of, you know, Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody, it will get attributed back to the original version. So now the publishers on that can get revenue generated from you playing edits, which has never existed before, right? You know, typically you go on a record pool, you download the intro versions, the clean versions, you play them, and that's where the buck stops and doesn't go anywhere. Now, if you play the intro version of Lil Wayne Lollipop, it'll get attributed back to the original version. Lil Wayne will get a nice little piece of that. So, you know, this is something we're super excited about because, again, it's bringing the DJs and the DJ industry into the light. Like, whether you guys know it or not, we've been operating in this dark web for a decade or more, you know? So now this is all going to be in the light, attributed to the correct rights holders, publishers, and artists. So yeah, I mean, we're really excited about that.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the intros and outros, which I'm going to use tomorrow. But that's what was needed. And I never had a problem taking originals like for DJs. Like, we know, if you know your music, you know when to bring it in, when to not. But the intros and outros just make things so much just easier.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about the acapellas and having access to the instrumentals, because that was one of the things that I always forgot. Every time I would download from DJ City, I always forgot to download the acapellas or the instrumentals, and I try to go back and I'm like, it's gone, so.
And you know what? That's a great point, because the instrumentals and acapellas specifically are something are exclusive to us, because for years, as we were running DJ City, we were getting instrumentals and acapellas from the promo departments. Those instrumentals and acapellas don't go to DSPs, because they don't, DSP, like a Spotify doesn't have a need for acapellas, because who's listening to acapellas on Spotify like by themselves, right?
Right.
But for us, super important. So all the acapellas and instrumentals that you're going to see on Beatsource are exclusive to Beatsource. You can't get them on any other DSP. There's another question here about, I currently use Tidal. I'm happy. How does Beatsource compare to Tidal? So again, the key differences are that we're focused for DJs. So, we're going to provide you with the BPM and the key data before you even load a track, because DJs need to know what the BPM and the key of the track are. We're going to be able to provide intro versions, clean versions, transition edits, short edits, hook first edits. Those other services will never have those edits, right? Because they're exclusive to Beatsource. We've been building them ourselves over the last 20 years. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot. And then the offline mode, that's the biggest difference between us and a SoundCloud or a Tidal. They don't have offline mode. So, if that's something that you need as a DJ, then Beatsource really is the only option for you.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to Kid Cut Up in the building. I see you, man. Good to see you.
Why don't you Kid Cut Up intro versions on the site right now?
I was just about to ask you. I was going to ask you, do they have their actual names displayed on them too?
Not yet. Not yet. But we'll be getting there. We'll be getting there. Right now, they just tell you whether it's an intro version, clean version, transition edit or whatever. But big shout out to Kid Cut Up, the rest of the DJ City curation team. The guys have been putting in weeks and weeks and weeks of work. And then, manually we had to upload all these tracks. So it's like, it's been a lot of work.
Right.
But shout out to Tim. Yeah, he kills it.
So let me ask you this. Okay. As far as parity between the DJ City pool and Beatsource link, if I go to DJ City right now and then I see, top blah, blah, blah edits, from so-and-so, are those on Beatsource link right now?
So if you're talking about remixes and bootlegs and that type of stuff, the answer is no, not yet.
Okay.
So that's the next phase. That's
Gotcha.
On our roadmap. It's something we're actively working towards. But the first phase of this rollout was to first do the edit, what are called like original edits, kind of. So any edit that uses its own song to create the edit. We don't have like edits that use bits from other songs or that are original productions, like redrums and stuff like that. That's going to come later down the line, because again, we have to get it into this like licensed system and body and attribute it to the rights holders and everything. So
Gotcha.
That'll be coming next. Okay,
perfect. So DJ Be Well, I think that answers your question. Somebody else had asked about streaming. I guess so if they're so people can see what we're talking about here. Let's flip over. I'll get this working. I got too many buttons. All right. So, see, and too many keyboards. There we go. Okay. So somebody had asked, as far as being able to add your playlist, your edit ready playlist on the go. So obviously you can search in Beatsource for individual music. We know that you pop it in, it's going to pop up. Like I typed in remix here, and anything with the keyword of remix is going to show up in the Beatsource. Let me flip that. There we go. Anything, yeah, it's gonna flip it into there. So here are all your beat sources, but you also have the option, and hopefully, don't let there be anything bad on here. Let's go to the actual Beatsource site, and you can do this from the site or from the DJ app that they already have. And down here you have some of their VIP curated crates. You have the Nick Spinelli web crates here. Which are actually very, very good. So you guys should probably take a look at that. Then you got your 20, you got your openings, your global sounds, like your Afro beats and all that stuff, which they've taken a huge focus of really trying to add and improve their Afro beats and their international section. So, because I think you guys have always been good at like your Latin section has actually always been pretty good. Like your reggaeton has always been good, but your Afro was questionable, and you really put a big emphasis on that. But if you go to say, like your rap essentials, so I just clicked on rap essentials, and after it populated, all these songs are here. Okay. So, and in here they have the explicit version, the clean version, and then the intro version, an intro clean, and then also an instrumental. So all of those songs are right there available for you. Now, all you have to do at this point, you can choose to either add them individually to your own playlist. And you can say create a playlist, add to a playlist. Like I can create a playlist for myself, call it, hip hop, and then just start adding stuff there. Or if you just want everything in here, which is always a little easier, you just click on the whole save to library. And when you save it to library, it actually will populate itself right into your Beatsource My Playlist. So this Rap Essentials is what I saved to library. And all of the music that was on there is listed here. So, yes, to answer your question, you can definitely save an entire folder right to your Beatsource locker. Are you guys going to have a way, and maybe you do in some programs, just not in Rekordbox or in Serato, that I can say right-click and just say, put it in offline? I guess you can technically drag and drop and then do it again.
You can drag and drop, yeah. So in Rekordbox, you can do that. You can just right-click and batch store offline. Mm-hmm. In Serato, you can't do that, but you could just select all from the crate and drag them over into the and they'll start to download that way. I haven't tried actually just dropping the crate onto it, the playlist onto the offline locker crate. That might work.
Let's see. I got way too many buttons here. Okay. All right. So, let's do one a little smaller. So let's take this one.
Okay. It doesn't look like it. No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, you would do it from the crate itself, the content, and you would just drag them over.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. For now, look, guys, keep in mind that some of these issues is not necessarily a Beatsource issue, but it's the application issue. So every application is going to run differently. I think the best integration across the board is from Algorithms DJ. I think they offer the best one.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, but
surprisingly so. Like that is a amazing program.
It's one of those programs that you hate to love, but the more you use it, the more you're like, this is a really good program. Like,
actually, A-Track just dropped a video routine.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ingenious, and the fact that it has stems integrated, and you can use it on your iPad. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I have it on my phone, and I just use it for like emergency, if you need it. But that's a great program, and yeah, I mean that's the beauty of Beatsource is that no matter what DVS you're using, you can use Beatsource. We're in every major one. We've got one or two more integrations announcements coming up. So when that's done, it'll literally be in everything.
Gotcha.
Even VR. I think we're in VR. If you're like a VR DJ, we're in that shit too. So.
All right, cool. Let's see. DJ Young Nick says, is there any way in the future that we can use the songs that are in Beatsource? Oh, okay. So, no, I can answer this. You're never going to be able to record the streaming music. I doubt that's ever going to happen.
Not natively through the DVS.
Yes, but there's always options.
Yeah, like I can't actually talk about it. I'm not supposed to, but like, this is my favorite quote. If you could hear it, you could record it.
Exactly. Look, guys, honestly, if you're using OBS, you got that right there. So, which is kind of funny to me because Serato built in their let audio be active in other applications. And when I saw that, I was like, hey, you know what you could do with that? So, yeah. The only frustration I ever have is when you're in the middle of a recording and then you're just like, oh, let me pop the song. And you're just like, damn it, I have to either stop or not play this song. That's the only time, especially if you're DJing like a mobile event or something and you have to play a request. You're like, but yeah, it is what it is.
That makes sense. I never personally used the DVS recording feature. I've used Serato maybe a couple times, but I always was just going out of my mixer into my other computer that was running Ableton or something like that. Yeah. But, it's a good point. And yeah, I mean, DJs are little hackers, so that
yes,
you can figure out a way.
Yes. So, and another question is, you may or may not know this, I'm sure you know this. Are you ever going to create an app on the phone?
Yeah, for sure. So, first we launched the Beatsource DJ Web App, which was, I heard you talking about it earlier, and that's purely just meant to be an easier way to navigate the library, audition tracks, add to your catalog, strictly from the web app. For the mobile app, yes, it's in development. Beatport, as you know, is our parent company. They launched their version a few months ago, and so we will have a version 2.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I mean, I think you guys, if anybody's using Beatport, I think you can kind of assume that if it's something that's cool, that you would go, that'd be nice to have. Beatsource has probably already asked for it. So it's just a matter of time. Yeah,
but that said, please give us your feedback. If you guys do use it, as I said, free 30-day trial, so you can jump on there, no strings attached, check it out. And if you have feedback, let us know. We're super open to hearing what you guys think about it, whether good or bad. Even in terms of the library content, if there's songs that you can't find in the library, we want to know about it so we can go get them from the label. We set up an email, requests@beatsource.com. So you could just shoot us an email and be like, you guys are missing this NLE Choppa song or something, and we'll go get it.
Which is okay. I'm kidding.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we're super open. We want to hear feedback, criticisms, and we're actively working and improving the service and this product. It's we're never finished.
Yeah, I agree. And by the way, Mojax DJ in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. I haven't watched your video yet because I've been on this thing, but I assume it's
Actually, I think you might have beat him. I'm sitting.
Did I beat him? Well, did I beat Mojax?
I was supposed to publish it, but I had to jump on this interview. So.
Oh man, sorry, man. Your own company. Okay. So, by the way, quick question: as far as Beatport is concerned, does Beatport offer the same 1,000 songs?
That's a great question. So, actually, this is we're the same company. We share the same technology. Mm-hmm. This is the first time we've actually beat them with a feature update. So, Beatsource is the only one that has 1,000 locker size. Beatport has not increased that yet. I believe they will be doing so, though. And Beatport doesn't have DJ edits. DJ edits are exclusive to Beatsource, so you won't be able to get that content on Beatport.
That's a good way to really separate yourself out from the company, because I know a lot of people were like, Beatsource, they're the same company, right? It's just Beatport. It's like, no, there is a difference, and this is why. And look, we all know Beatport that's the electro EDM, conglomerate. That's where you go for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and they serve a great. They're amazing in what they do. If that's the music you're looking for, there's no better place. So to people that are watching and being like, they sign up for Beatsource and they're like, where's your drum and bass or your like hard side trance or like whatever? That's going to be on Beatport. That's what you want them for. Beatsource is literally for DJs who play open format, commercial music in a sense.
Right.
How the culture is. The DJ culture is very interesting, and there's that separation, especially in those two worlds. So.
Yes, and even in that world, I've never seen so much separation between genres. Because I watched this one video, and the guy was like talking about drum and bass, and then he broke down, this is house, this is EDM, this is, and I'm just like, even I didn't know like how many layers there were in just house music. It's crazy.
And trust me, the Beatport curation team are experts. And if you like say the wrong thing, or you're like, this is the funny thing is like EDM is a bad word, so we can't say EDM. Like they literally don't fuck with that. So, and you know what? It's like I respect that because I didn't understand that world. I didn't come from that world. So working with this company over the last 2 years and like learning more about that world and everything is amazing. And we as open format club DJs or whatever, we kind of like
we dabble.
Yeah, and we also shame them. We kind of throw shame on those guys, like, oh, you just knob turn or whatever. But those fans, those consumers are so loyal and so strong. Yeah. And if you watch any DJ video on YouTube, if you watch like a Jay Espinosa amazing video, we're like, wow, this is fucking amazing. And it's like, 10,000 views. And if you look at like a trance DJ playing up there, it's got like millions of views. So, we respect the culture. We respect that division. And, we want to provide service to both.
Gotcha. DJ TLM in the building also. Good to see you, fam. Thanks for hanging out today. Mojax says, I actually have a dope drum and bass playlist that will be available on Beatsource soon, and a UK Garage one. Okay? Yeah. Don't go too hard. They'll be trying to get you over at Beatport. So,
by the way, they've already tried. I said no. But yeah, shout out to anything that Mojax has curated on the Beatsource library is fire. He's got a funky house playlist that's like super deep. I think it's like 200 records, and it's fucking amazing.
I actually, I got it right here. Yeah. Very, very impressive. Mojax,
he went deep with it too. So
Mojax is a pretty good DJ. Oh man. Okay. So, Golden Americans with your EDM nonsense.
That's really how they feel. Yeah.
I know. So, people in the crowd, we got a good amount of people here. If you guys have any more questions, I don't want to keep Styles on for too long, but if you have any more questions related to Beatsource, now is the time to put the ask in the chat. You guys know what to do. Put the ask in there and ask your question. We'll keep him on for a few more and let him go. He's got to probably get a whole bunch of pats on the back or something. I don't know what they're going to do for him.
I'm on a press tour. I got to go do podcasts and DJ shows and YouTube things.
Oh, wait. But we also have to talk about the voiceover skill sets that you got. So was it a you're the guy to do it because you're here? I mean,
it started out like that, and then this is like embarrassing, but like, yeah, they were like, "Oh, you got a good voice. Like, you should do this shit." And I was the only guy, so I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it." And it was really like stand-in VO to be like, "Okay, let's go to an actual like professional and have this done." But it worked out. I just recorded a new one, so yeah. If this DJ shit doesn't work out, I'm gonna dive into that world.
So, and it's so funny because I actually would have kind of assumed that Mojax would do some voiceover work, but that's okay. I'm sure he's like, "Hey man, I'm right here. I'm the voice."
Every time I ask Mojax to do something now, he's like, "You should just do it. You better."
So no, I've actually been looking into it myself. For whatever reason, I can't tell you how many times I get you have a great voice. I love your voice. from dudes too, not just like women. Like, and so I'm like, when Boy Genius was like, sometimes I just go to your videos and I just turn it on and listen. Like, okay, I got to do something with this voice.
Honestly, I think it's super integral to your success. Like, I think Mojax has that. I think you have that. I think Nick has that. It's man. You gotta have personality. I think you can report the news all day, but if you're not saying it in an interesting way, then people are going to tune out.
Agreed. James Jackson says, with this new update, there's a restriction on which songs edits can be stored in. Is there a restriction?
Yeah. So no, there's no restriction. The only restriction that you'll face in searching for edits is if you are only a Link subscriber. So if you're not Link Pro Plus, you'll be able to see all the edits, but when you try to add it to a playlist, you'll get messaging that says, this track has been added to your playlist, but only Pro Plus users can.
So that's a huge distinction. People need to understand that. Some people are going to pop on and go, "Oh, I don't see it, or I can't play it, or there's something wrong with the system," but it's a Pro Plus feature. Yeah. So that's good to know, because I've actually had people ask me that before. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can only get the edits and the 1,000 locker size as a Pro Plus member.
Gotcha. I know the answer, but the question is, where did it go? Do you have reggae, bachata, merengue, cumbia tracks on the service?
Absolutely. So we got a really deep reggae and Caribbean section that's curated by D James, who's a well-known UK DJ. He won the Red Bull Freestyle for this year for the UK before they had to pause that. And so, we've got a super deep catalog that's still growing in terms of all the music on the site, we're still working on that every day, weekly. We're reaching out to labels, artists, getting more music. So it's currently pretty big, and we've got all that stuff. On the Latin side, yes, really, really great catalog that's also growing as well. And again, because we've signed deals with every major, we can get everything. So, now Christian music is a different story. And also I think I saw something about country music.
Yeah, right.
So Christian music, there probably is some on Beatsource right now, but it's not a high priority for us. And so we haven't really kind of merchandised it and put it into playlists or anything like that. That's not to say we won't have it, though. That's something that we've gotten some requests for. And so we'll definitely start looking into that. And we'll definitely have that type of music more prominently at some point. Also with the country music, it's the same thing. So with country music, we're focusing really on the hits right now, but eventually we'll be able to grow up that catalog and have a lot.
So the deep red Solo Cup and all that old deep stuff.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're focusing on really just like the major hits, but eventually we'll have a pretty robust catalog for that stuff as well. Same with rock music. With rock music, we have that up now as its own individual genre. Those are the two last updates that we made. We added rock as a genre, and we added African music as a genre.
Actually, your rock genre, you did a really good job on the rock one too. I was very impressed. I actually want to comment on this one. It says, "Wow, only edits with Pro Plus. That's no good." You need to keep in mind that if you're comparing the $9.99 price point with any other company, so the SoundClouds, the titles not going to have intros and outros either. So it's on par with the other ones. Now, once you start to want to be more into the professional, catalog where you also receive your offline, then the ins and outs are better. But they're not saying here is WAP. I keep using WAP because it's like right in front of my face. Here's WAP, the intro, but you can't get the original clean version. They'll still have a clean version on the $9.99 version. It just won't have a beat in front of it. So you just got to know your music, which as a DJ shouldn't be that hard for you. You should be able to fly through anything. But I really wouldn't worry about it. I think it's good to have a distinction. I really do. Yeah.
And we really are trying to parse those out for, again, more of the hobbyist, beginner, new DJ, and then also just the professional. I see one more question about, does Beatsource provide music videos? No. So that is something that is not on our roadmap. And I can just commit, I think, right now to saying we're not going to be doing music videos.
Mhm.
We're a music we're a streaming service for DJs for music. But yeah, when you said that, I kind of looked at you.
I told you I got to be careful what I bring up on my Safari. Who knows what's there?
You should know that WAP has a natural intro anyway, right? So
right, exactly.
You don't need the intro version for that.
But videos are a whole different ball game anyway. It's a whole different animal, and there are sites already dedicated to that. I don't know that I would even want to be in a situation where I'm relying upon streaming a video. That's crazy. That you're going to be waiting a long time.
Yeah,
for
that's
that
a whole
download.
can of worms. I mean, streaming in itself is like off-putting to some DJs, but to think if you're talking about hundreds of megs of per file, that's I wouldn't really be in that. But it's interesting. This video debate has always been going on, and I'm not a video DJ, so I've always kind of like looked at it a little shady. But it's like there's a dedicated market of DJs who actually play that.
I think that the market shot up 400% due to Twitch. So I think that's why people are saying it. Mr. Demand said, so what happens if you had the $20 plan?
That's a great question. So we consolidated our plans, so now we only have two. Before we had three, $10, $20, and $30. Now we only have 10 and 20. I'm sorry, 10 and 30. If you were a pro user paying $20 a month, nothing will change. So you can continue to use that service for the same price until the end of the year. Nothing will change. You just won't have access to the offline 1,000 locker, and you won't have access to DJ units because it's only part of the Pro Plus plan. So nothing will change. We're not going to charge you anymore, except at the end of the year, your account will automatically upgrade to the Pro Plus plan unless you decide to cancel. If you don't want that to happen, by all means, you can cancel and you won't have to pay that increase. But if it's something that you're interested in, you can just let your account, either you can upgrade to Pro Plus or you can just let it go to the end of the year and it'll automatically upgrade. Now, if you're the Pro Plus user plan already, you're already paying the $30 a month. Immediately, you're going to have an increased locker size and access to all the edits. So nothing changes. You just get all this amazing content, and that boosts to your offline locker.
DJ Dell says, did you guys provide FX sounds? I know you have your scratch tools.
Yeah, so we don't have like effects like per se, but we've got a ton of like DJ tools. So scratch samples, tone play tools, break beats, acapellas, all that type of stuff. Yeah, not like effects exactly, but
let me pull that over. Yeah, so this is their scratch tool section, and it's pretty robust. Just for your tone plays, hands up now, lots of samples, and I think you have another one, don't you?
Yeah, we have a few of them.
Yeah, so I haven't done the tone play one, but I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tone play. I mean, it's tone play. Yeah. So there are some. I mean, look, it's not going to be your next Folly app where you go to grab all your stuff, but for DJs specifically, we always have to keep that in mind. And I know in here there's some horns because that's probably what we're asking about. You got a horn or some. I don't do the horns. Never have.
I think Scene's asking his scratch ammo in there. I don't know. That's a good question. We need to make sure it is though. Let's talk, dude. I'm just gonna get it through our distributor, and we should definitely have that up there for sure.
Right. Let's see. Any more? Will there be house genre rather than placing them under dance?
So yeah, I mean that goes back to the conversation we had about like just the differences in the culture and the two scenes, I guess, between dance DJ, electronic DJs, and open format DJs. We decided to call it dance because we felt that was more of an appropriate term for open format DJs. And house music lives under that umbrella. So if you look at Mojax's Funky House playlist, or if you look at our classic house playlist, that's all classic house music. your Armin van Heldens, your Robin S, all that stuff. We're not going to get to a point where we've got the Euro tech house, minimal, I don't even know. There's so many different genres and all that stuff. So as I was saying before, if you're really into dance music or house music and all the niche subgenres under that, you'd probably be more fitted to use Beatport than Beatsource. But we still have a ton of house music on Beatsource, more house music than I would ever need to play, and it's a ton of great stuff. So by all means, check them out. You can try both services, Beatport and Beatsource, free for 30 days. So I would jump in and check out the library and see if it works for you.
B Well says, do the songs get analyzed when streaming, or do you need to save them in a locker? I've had to adjust the gains more than usual. Well, every song, no matter what song you put in, you might have to adjust the gains. They all have their own kind of default volume. Even Serato, I think you can set it to raise the gain, but I've always kept it at a certain thing and adjusted it myself because I don't trust it. But once you adjust it, it should save it from that point on.
Yeah. Once you make any kind of metadata adjustments, it should retain that info. That's a good question, though, because one thing to note is all this music is being delivered to us directly from the labels. So you can potentially find tracks that are seemingly kind of like low or smaller waveforms, and that's just because that's how the track was mastered from the label, right? So especially with if you load up maybe some 90s hip hop or 80s hip hop stuff and you look at the waveform and you're like, whoa, compared to a 2021 track, you're like, this is so small. It's because that's how the song was mastered, 30 years ago. But you can make those adjustments through your DVS and it will retain that info.
Yeah, Mojak said after loading a track once, load it again, and then the auto gain will be applied. That is a pro tip.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And also, what I always recommend is take your streaming files and when you're disconnected from your hardware, throw them in the analyzation, button on Serato and pre-analyze all your files just so you get the overviews built. And every time you do that, when you load those tracks again, they're going to load that much quicker because overviews have already been built. The metadata's been stored, you're good to go.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Okay, so after Serato cannot apply the auto gain until after the track is analyzed, says Mojax. So there you go. That's why you guys should follow Mojax. He's on this little site called DJ City on YouTube. Check him out. He does some pretty good work. Let's take a look at. Will you be able to stream from it? Ask in the future app, will you be able to stream from it, or as in can casual listening be done like Spotify?
So that's actually what Beatsource DJ is great for, the web app. It's for Chrome only, but you can go into, you log in there with your Beatsource account, you're going to see all your playlists, all your music, and there's actually an auto mix function. So you could go to a playlist, play the first song, hit that auto mix, and just let it go. And I do that while I'm working. And it'll run through all those tracks, play them in full, back to back. And if you like a track that you hear, you can just go drag it into a new playlist or something like that. So I would definitely recommend Beatsource DJ for, just listening to tracks in full as kind of like a passive listener, versus like an active listener where you're actually DJing with it. Spotify and those services, they're for passive listening. So, you just put it on and you go do your thing. So you can actually do that with Beatsource DJ.
Gotcha. That's great. And if I loved Chrome as much as everybody else does, it'd be my go-to. I only use Chrome when I have to. I gotta get on Melon, so I gotta get on Chrome. It's the only thing that'll allow me to do this stuff. But yeah. Yeah,
I've switched over to Brave. I use Brave now instead of Chrome, but it works well, and it's just kind of a nice supplement to the service, right?
Gotcha.
Because I heard you talking about it earlier, and it's like, by no means do we think you should be DJing with Beatsource DJ, in public. No, it's literally just a tool to help you kind of discover, manage, and audition music. But you shouldn't be showing up to the club and playing off a Chrome browser. That might be a lesson that some of you DJs need to learn. And if you want to learn that, go ahead. But we were very deliberate in telling you guys, no, this is not DJ software. This should not replace your Serato or your algorithm or whatever.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Last couple of questions, guys. Mojack uses Firefox. Is Firefox still even around? Actually, Firefox used to be my go-to, and then they started having problems with updates, and I was like, I'm done. And then I moved over to Safari, and I never looked back. But I am streaming on this PC, which you can't see behind me from the Goat Nation right here. But the Edge is good. I know it's based on Chrome, but I've been really happy with Edge. Edge does a really good job if you're on PC, people. Okay, so last couple of questions. You guys have any more questions for him? Because after this, he will never answer another question. He's not even going on Tweak Music Tips tomorrow. So this is it. Any more questions? While we're waiting for those last questions, no, honestly, I've been ultra impressed by it. I'm actually, strangely enough, more excited to be able to use the offline locker on my DJ on my iPad. So I don't have to think about, I can just create my playlist. Okay, done. We're done. They're there. Because I've had this little issue with trying to sync up everything together. And, Beatsource might be the option. Especially if, once I start looking in the intros and outros, it'd be cool to have a parody for both of your local and your streaming, like all to exist in, one in cloud, one there. I'd love to have that.
So that's something we're also working on, and we're going to get there. I mean, we talked a little bit about Beatsource DJ, and if you guys use it, you'll see you can load up tracks. You can actually set cue points and loops and metadata like that. The next step for us is to be able to sync that to your profile, which would sync globally to all your integrations, right? So you could go on Beatsource DJ, set cue points, you load up your Serato computer, DJ computer, all the shit's there with all the cue points you just set. And you set cue points in Serato, then you go log on to the homie's computer who's got Rekordbox. All that metadata would transfer over as well.
That would be amazing.
It's on the roadmap for sure.
Oh, so NAM, we can expect it at NAM 2022?
Possibly. That's a good deadline for us. I mean, I can't commit to that, but yeah, I mean, it's something we're definitely working on.
Yeah. I know that what Crate Hackers has something similar as far as looking at your catalog and looking at theirs and saying, here's all where you can get the music. But it would be great to just be able to match what I have, do your best. And then it'll say, we've matched, 900 out of 999 songs. And here are the songs that don't match up. And, there's a lot of options there, and so then I would not have to worry about anything. Every computer I have in the pinch, I could just pop up. Oh, this one broke. Let me drop this on real quick. And I'm like right there again. Oh.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think, and TLM even did that. I think he was like streaming on his stream and the computer was messing up. And so he had another computer, he launched it up and he had all his Beatsource playlists there ready to go. Now they didn't have the cue points that he had set, but we'll get there.
Now, Mixmaster GNL, I see him in the chat. That's my guy. He does the conversion utility app.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he's got one for streaming. That's I haven't tested yet. I think Mojax has tested it, and that way you move your cue points over to your other versions. I would have to say.
Yeah, so, I believe he's probably talking to somebody over at the team. I've seen a bunch of emails and something, so somebody's. I hope so. If not,
good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So maybe knowing him, he probably already has a solution that he created 12 years ago, and nobody's just listened to him yet. So love Mixmaster GNL. That's he's a fan favorite on the channel. Let's see here.
Yeah, that's right. TLM told me about him.
Yeah. Good guy. This question is for Cleveland Terry. What's your thoughts on the future of DJ record pools like BPM Supreme? I think there's a place for all record pools. I don't think that any one thing is going to completely remove. It's kind of like, you can watch a movie on Disney Plus. You can watch Black Widow, but sometimes you want to go to the theater. It's the same kind of concept. There's a tool for every job, and for some people, streaming is never going to be an option. So they're going to need to have those files, and they're old school. I think the new school people are going to just latch on to this. They're already streaming everything anyway. But the old guys, even like myself, they don't want to do it. But from what I have seen and heard and spoke of, I can't speak for everybody out there, but DJ City / Beatsource appear to be the only ones that are like truly, following the letter of the law. So, because if you watch a lot of sites, a lot of sites have changed. A lot of things that they had before that were incredibly enticing are not there. Why? You can answer that for yourself. But, I think I have faith in a company that tries to be, try to do the right thing. That's the most important part. I've actually had friends that are like, we should start a DJ pool. I'm like, you don't have the rights. Well, we'll just set it up now and then we'll get them later. I'm like, that's not the way you do it.
A lot of people operate that way.
Right.
Shoot first, ask for forgiveness later, or whatever the saying is. And it's like, no, we wanted to do things above board because at the end of the day, it's better for DJs as a whole and for the DJ community as a whole.
Yeah.
What we're doing is it's going to give the labels and the artists more of a reason to fuck with the DJs than before, right? Because before it was promotion, it was just purely a promotional kind of handshake thing. And now what we're doing is we're providing revenue back to the artists, back to the labels, and also data. And I think that's going to entice them to work with us. And that was a big reason why they came to the table and agreed to these licensing deals with us.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody says, I want files. I like buying hard drives. Okay. DJ Loco Lopez, still very sketchy on streaming. Not the server's fault, just not good network most places. Yeah, that's why the offline locker is gonna save your day.
Offline locker will help you there. And then also, over the next few years, probably shorter span than that though, just internet reliability is only going to get better and better. And you're going to start going up to the clubs and they're going to have Ethernet cables in the booths and they're going to have dedicated Wi-Fi for the DJs. It'll just be standard practice.
Cameras just sitting there right there. Log into whatever streaming service you use. It's just going to be easy. Yeah. DJ Jazzy Lou says, can I search complete library before joining? Yes, you have a 30-day free trial.
And actually, you don't even have to sign up for the service. You can just go to Beatsource.
Because you can buy the Beatsource music. So it's already there.
Yeah, so you can just go to Beatsource.com, browse the library, look at the playlists, use the search, and just look at the catalog without even having to register or do anything.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, DJ Dell, and then we're gonna click you off. Says, let's say Beatsource doesn't have a track you really want. Is there a way to ask Beatsource if the song will be available in the future?
Absolutely. Requests@beatsource.com. Hit us on email. Let us know what you're looking for. We also have a survey link in that'll be messaged out to users, and also I think it's available on Beatsource DJ on the web app, like towards the bottom. But yeah, absolutely. Just send us an email at requests@beatsource.com and let us know what you're looking for, and we'll go get it.
Yeah. See, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. I love seeing things like that. Okay. Let's see. Any more questions? I think you nailed it.
We did it.
I think we did it. Let's see. Do you have to connect? To verify your account to access your offline locker? Oh, that's a good question.
Yes. So that is a good question. So if you're logged in through Serato, let's say, into Beatsource, you will have access to all the content. If you log out, all that content is removed from the library, so you actually won't be able to see it. Now, if you're going to go to a gig that has no Wi-Fi, you need to keep Beatsource logged in and not log out before you get to the gig. Meaning,
so keep in mind, that's a physical step you have to take, because once you log into Beatsource, it's logged in. I think there is a refresh every like
I've never been logged out. I don't think so. I don't.
Well, no, that was Tidal. It wasn't Beatsource. It was Tidal.
Hmm.
So as long as Beatsource is there and you don't log out of it, you should be good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could run into an issue if you logged out of Beatsource and then show up to your gig and there's no Wi-Fi and you can't connect to the Wi-Fi to log in again. That could be an issue. So just the short answer is never log out. Like there should be no reason why you would log out. If you were in a pinch and you didn't have to do that though, you could probably just connect to your hotspot Wi-Fi just to log in. As soon as you logged in, all the content would come up, including your offline locker content, and then you can disconnect and you'd be good to go.
Yeah, exactly.
We're coming out with some NFTs and some crypto coins.
There you go. All right. I think you've answered most of the questions. Anybody else that has questions, basically check out my video. Apparently mine's the only one that's up right now. Later on, if you want to check out Mojex's video, go ahead and do that too. If it goes up, who knows? I kid. But yeah, just there's a wealth of information. The IG is going to be popping. I'm sure it's popping right now with a wealth of information. But I think we've answered them. If you came in late and you're not sure if we answered your question, watch it from about an hour in. I guarantee you it's probably been answered. Beatsource is a fantastic service, and I think it's great that they have somebody like Styles Davis kind of at the forefront, because he is a DJ that truly cares about other DJs. So appreciate you.
Well, thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it, dude. I love what you do for the culture, and you are the man. So, when you gave me this opportunity, I definitely jumped at it, and we appreciate all the support you've shown.
Thank you very much. Now, when you go to Kova's channel, when you go to Tweak Music Tips, all one-word answers. One word. He loves that. All right, guys. We're gonna let Styles go. Guys, put some ones in the chat if you found this thing very informative. Even I found some things informative that I didn't know. So ones in the chat. And Styles, we'll be seeing you soon, pal.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Talk to you soon. Okay. All right. So Styles Davis in the house, killing it as always. Styles has been instrumental in pretty much everything DJ City, Beatsource, just always been there. So a lot of people can tell you great stories about how Styles was one of the people that got them in the door, or changed their life. I mean, even Mojax. Styles went to Mojax to try to bring him into DJ City. So he's a good guy. I like working with good people. If you've noticed, I don't just run with everybody, but there's certain people and there's certain companies that I'm just like, and when you look at the weird things, like all the people that I've come to become friends with, the Mojaxes, the TLMs, the Kid Cut-Ups, they're all in with DJ City, all work for the company. So that's how you know. I'm a good judge of character. I really am. Let's see here. I'm going to see if I can answer a couple more questions. Did it better. Free trial. Hope it's better than BPM. Well, look, I mean, if you've never used DJ City and you come from BPM, feature-wise, it's gonna feel very similar. Music-wise, I always find that now when you think about it, because they have these agreements in for all three majors, because at one point we were running into with DJ City and BPM, like if one stream had it or if one record pool had it, the other one didn't. But you're not necessarily going to run into that problem with Beatsource Link, because it's going to have all the music. So it's, at least give it a try. That's all I'm saying. Give it a try. That's all you got to do. I don't trust that Kid Cut-Up guy. I mean, come on. Kid Cut-Up literally gives you gigs of music just because. L35 in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Local Lopez, I was in the middle tier, but I definitely jumping into the pro. Totally worth it now. I agree. So I wasn't the I just didn't think it was enough before. Now I have absolutely no arguments on the fact that it's more than enough. They're giving you so much for your money now. I'm gonna get some music. You gotta DM them. You gotta DM them. Okay, guys. Let's figure out who we are going to raid. Let's see who is on. And like I said before, make sure that you go back and you watch my video. Support the stream by watching the YouTube video to make sure that the numbers are where they're supposed to be. Even though I appreciate you guys hanging out here, go the extra mile and click on that video too. It's literally 6 minutes. It's the shortest video I've done in like 5 years. So go check it out. Okay, so who did I say is on? Let's see. Olive is on. Flips, let's see. Flip side is on. Spinurita. You know what? We should rate Spinurita. We haven't been there in a while. Oh, wait, hold on. Chris Villa's on Snapback. Let's rate Snapback since Chris Villa's on there. Okay. All right. So while we're waiting on this raid to kick in, I want to give a shout out to, of course, all of my mods, Ratbone, T Diesel. Thanks again for the support. Appreciate you. Shout out to Mixmaster GNL, T Diesel. I already said T Diesel. That's how much I like T Diesel. TLM, Mojax, Kid Cut Up, Diamond Lee, L35, DJ Scene, DJ Queso. Anybody else that I did not mention? Jorge Blanco, Stephen Bell. So while we are, I guess, waiting for this thing to finish setting up for the stream, Stephen Bell says, with beat matching on the Pioneers, what's the smoothest way without the songs speeding up? Okay, so if we're talking about just standard beat matching, the smoothest way is to be able to ride the pitch. If you can master riding the pitch, you won't feel that sudden jar as you're kind of, trying to adjust. But you just have to be smoother on the touch. I can slowly do a soft touch on the sides of a turntable, and you won't feel that jolt that you're talking about. It's just about getting a little more light-handed, and then going from there. But if you can ride the pitch, you're winning. Even I struggle with riding the pitch. All right, guys. Always a pleasure. We'll talk to you soon. Peace out.